One of my favorite ways to have fun in Spanish class is to do something seasonal while still practicing Spanish. So this October, I thought it would be kind of fun to share some of my favorite Halloween activities you can do with your Spanish classes. Let's get right into them. Hey, my name is Ashley, aka Senorita Spanish, where I provide easy-to-use resources to save you time and energy while you're lesson planning. If you're new here, I just want to make sure that you know that links to everything that I mentioned will be down in the description box below. So something that I think is really fun to do with Halloween and Spanish classes, especially when we're talking about novice students, is to talk about clothing and colors vocabulary, especially because if your students like to dress up and costumes, right, it's an easy thing to get in with Halloween at the same time. So this listen, write, and draw activity is a lot of fun to do during Halloween because it's also like, skeletons, okay. So students listen to a short description of what the skeleton is wearing, they write what they hear, and then they illustrate it to show their comprehension. You can also have students design their own skeleton and then describe what they've drawn. You can expand that activity in all sorts of different ways by having them play guessing games, hanging them up without the descriptions, and having them match. There's a lot you could do with that. You already know that I love gallery walks as a great way to get in a ton of input for your students. So I just wanted to share this gallery walk that I have for you. Students will walk around and see the short readings with a description of what each person is wearing. And of course, they're going to work on clothing and color vocabulary while they're doing it. That gallery walk set also includes a Guess Who game with little cards for them to play and describe what the people are wearing, and the costumes are just fun for this time of year. If you haven't played Roll a Story before, now is a great time, especially since there are so many cognates that our novices can use when we're talking about Halloween vocabulary. So the way a Roll a Story works is students are going to roll a die, and that die is going to tell them some of the key elements of their story, like who, what the problem is, where the setting is, those kinds of things. And then after students have determined those key elements, they're going to use their own creativity and imagination to come up with a story. In this case, a story that is Halloween, not necessarily spooky, but Halloween vocabulary, and so Halloween fun. And then you can, of course, trade, let each other read them, and do any sort of reading activity with the stories that they've created. Roll a Stories also make a really great subplan, so if you have to be gone at all in the month of October, I highly recommend making sure you grab this one. Just have it copied and thrown in your emergency subplan binder just in case, because it's something that can take students quite a bit of time as they're being creative, and then I already have the subplan written out for you in that download, so you don't really have to stress about that. Another great option for you to do around this time of year are picture talks. And I have a video where I explain this routine and how I like to use it in my classroom, but how it fits in with a Halloween theme is I actually have a free download on my blog where I've set up a picture talk set for you where it's animals in costumes. So it's cute, it's silly, it's fun. Students love to talk about it, and it's perfect for colors and clothing vocabulary. And you can kind of have them play a guessing game while you're going through the picture talk too, if you would like, or if you wanted to kind of level it up for a higher level class and having them guess what they think each animal is dressed up as. Of course, that's a little bit out of bounds of vocabulary for some of our younger students, and it's switching it to more of an output activity rather than an input activity, which is what picture talk usually focuses on. Movie talks and picture talks are really similar. So of course I already have a video on my channel where I've explained how to do a movie talk. So if you're new to that idea, make sure you check out that video here for more information. I also have quite a few videos where I've shared free movie talks that you can download and use. But what I have coming up next week on my channel for you is a list of different shorts you can use during October that are kind of Halloween-y, kind of spooky, that are a lot of fun, that would be great for doing movie talks throughout the month of October. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel or you don't follow my page, make sure you do that so that way you don't miss this video coming up with 11 different shorts that you could use for movie talks with your students. And I do mention which ones I think are going to be too scary or which ones that I think your students will love because of a certain twist at the ending as well, of course. The last Halloween activity that I have for you is actually a short story. You know that I love including reading in my classes, and I have a free download for you on my blog. That's a short story about a girl who wants to go out and have fun with her friends on Halloween, but she's stuck at home babysitting. So your students will love that activity. Make sure you go head on over to my blog. I'll link to it in the description below where you can download that free resource, and you can either use that as a reading activity throughout the month or just add it to your library. If you would rather focus on a more cultural celebration with your Spanish classes instead of just having fun and talking about Halloween, make sure you check out my video here on Dia de Muertos with your Spanish classes. It's got a whole bunch of different activities and lesson plan ideas you could use with your classes, especially if you teach different levels. It's nice to have a bunch of different things so it's not year after year after year doing the same thing over and over again. So make sure you check out that video here next. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.